discussing another agentic framework called CrewAI, which is like, as you can get it from the name itself, like it's a crew, like there are multiple agents, which is being controlled by one agent. And then here we'll be defining the role of each agents, and then for that, and then the agents will take you. Do the work that we'll assign. So here we'll be doing a simple implementation with Python and CrewAI without drag and chunking. So let's dive in. So first we need to define our agents in CrewAI. Then, as I said, like we have to define the agents function within the crew. So you must have seen in a team, we have a defined set of people with defined roles, responsibilities, and everything. So that's how we define. So it's a crew, but each of the agents will perform a different action within the crew. So and then collectively they'll deliver one outcome. So that's how it is. So the role defines the agent function within the crew, and it determines the kind of task the agent is best suited for. So as in a team, we have different people specializing in different tasks. So one person cannot do all the tasks. So we have specialized people doing tasks. So there'll be like one developer, one solution architect, one say Scrum Master, all these things. So there are specialized people doing each task, but collectively they are delivering one signal business outcome like that. So then we have to have goal also, the individual's objective. So as in a team, we just take the analogy of a team also. So we need to have a goal. So each of this person with specialized role, they need to have a goal, like individual objective that the agent aims to achieve. So each one of us in a team have defined goals and objectives we need to fulfill, so that we collectively contribute to the overall objective of the outcome. So, and then it guides the agent decision making. But then we have a backstory, like we have to give a backstory, like, and since this is an AI agent, we need to tell the agent what it is, like provide the context of the agent's role and goal, enriching the interaction and collaboration dynamics. Unless the agent knows its backstory, like it has to perform this thing and any other objectives. So this contextual understanding and everything. So you need to give a backstory to it. Yeah. So as I said, we need to define the role, the goal, the backstory, to provide the context of the agent's role and goal. And then we need to define an LLM, which is like an optional, like represent the language model. So these are all the components of the CrewAI framework. Like LLM means it represents the language model that will run the agent. It dynamically fetches the model name from, say, OpenAI environment variable, but it's optional. Like if you have any other connectivity, you can just connect to that. And verbose means setting this to configure the internal logger and provide detailed execution logs. See that aiding in debugging and monitoring. The default is false. Like when you do that, suppose it encounters an error, you'll get a log of the detailed error and why it got stuck in the agent execution. And then allow delegation means agents can delegate tasks or questions to one another, ensuring that each task is handled by most suitable agent. So it is true by default, because in a team also, sometimes when you have to deliver, sometimes you delegate to another person who is, say, probably have less tasks than you. So you can say that, okay, can you take my task and all. So agents can also do that. Like one agent can delegate tasks to another agent if you allow it, like since default is true, but it can be false also. But I think by doing that, if you enable it to true, it will ensure that the agent is executing in a much smoother and efficient way. So as with all things, all agentic frameworks, we need to install the necessary libraries and all these things. So let me do that. As I said, like I have given this percentage capture, meaning that it will suppress the output of this installation, because unless because it will be a bit more messy at the output, because a long output. So just to reduce that, I have just suppressed it. So let me wait for it to get executed. Yeah, done. And then we are just calling it, and I'm using, again, I'm using Google API key, but you can feel free to use any other open frameworks that are available, open API keys, free API keys. You can use Grok and others. So here what I'm doing now, as I said, we need to define the role and goal of the agent. So here I'm doing two agents. I'm defining one, the researcher agent, one is called the writer agent. Now here it will become clear. Role, senior research analyst. Now goal, uncover groundbreaking insights in AI. Backstory, you are a senior research analyst leading at a leading tech think tank. Your expertise lies in identifying emerging trends and their potential impact. You have a knack for sifting through complex data and presenting actionable findings. So this is its backstory. So if you are a senior business analyst or research analyst, you need to tell the agent, since this is an AI agent, you need to tell what it is good at. So it will behave like that. So it's like a persona you are defining. Like, okay, I'm a senior research analyst. I'm good at these things. I have to do this, like this. Now, enable verb was equal to true and LLM equal to LLM, because LLM here I have defined it using the Gemini. And then backstory is you are a renowned tech content strategist known for your ability to explain complex technical concepts in an engaging and understandable manner. You transform raw data and insights into captivating narrative. So this is the backstory. Yeah. So I have defined the agency's role, goal, backstory, and other technical parameters like LLM and verbose and everything, and also delegation. Now we have to define the task for the agent. What is a task? Task is like a clear. So task parameters. It needs to have a description, a clear, concise statement of what the task entails. The agent responsible for the task. So you have to define the agent also. So for each task, you have to define the agent. Which agent is should do this task. Then what is the expected output? Like the detailed description of the task completion looks like. And then tool. Yesterday we explored tool, right? So the functions or capability the agent can utilize. And context. Specified tasks whose output are used as context. So if you want to give any additional context, any additional material, you can just use the context parameter and give that thing. Let's see how it is defined. Task. Conduct a comprehensive analysis of the latest advancement in AI, focusing on, say, transformer models, identify key trends, and your final output should be a detailed report on the latest AI breakthroughs. Now, what is the expected output? Expected output is like a detailed report summarizing the latest AI breakthroughs, including trends, research, and potential direction in transformer models. And then, what is the agent? The researcher agent. The researcher agent has to do this task. Now, the writer agent had to do this using the insights from the research report, develop a compelling blog post that highlights the significant advancement in AI. Like it should be informative, engaging, and easy to understand. So you're just setting the expectation. Like, okay, I have to perform this task, but then what my output should look like. And what is the expected output? A compelling, informative blog post written for tech-savvy audience, explaining the most significant AI advancements. Now, what agent I have to use is called the writer agent. Then once you are defining the task and all the agents, now you have to instantiate your crew. Now here I have taken two agents. You can have multiple agents, and then you have to define the task for each of those agents accordingly. So it can be complicated also, like a multi-agent, like in terms of, I mean, more than two, like 3, 4, 10 also, depending on what kind of problem you are solving. So, but then you have to define each of them in a way, like, so that it doesn't get, it doesn't break, and each agent is defined clearly, and also the edge cases also, like if an agent fails in something, what it should do next, like that. So crew, this is how you define it. You call the crew parameter, crew, this function, this class you have here, and then here, agents, you are defining, like in a list format, researcher and writer. Task in task 1, task 2, process sequential. Obviously, it will get, task will get executed one after the other. And I have just given verbose equal to false. Now, once you do that, you just say kickoff. That means your crew will start working. So let me just run this. Done. Once I instantiate my crew, you'll see at the bottom that will start executing.
You have defined two agents now. So which agent is working and how?
So the senior research analyst agent has just did what it is supposed to do. Like it has created a report from executive summary, introduction. It's a very long report. It has generated the report. Now the second agent, the tech content strategy, is using that same report, and it is developing a blog on top of that, as you can see here. Can you see this blog? It is written.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is just another additional example, I mean, additional output which the agent gives. But yeah, so this is how it is executing. First, the researcher agent is initiated so that it can collect all the information based on the objective that I have given. And it is collecting all the information. It is presenting a detailed report on that. And as you can see, the report is very long. And the tech content strategist agent is taking that report and is creating a blog out of that, like this technical blog. Since I mentioned that this blog is for the tech savvy people, so there will be a lot of technical jargons uh, and other terms which will be used here. So like this, yeah. So this is how it has created, and this is an additional output which it gives. But let me go down. Yeah. So and then yeah. So one thing you might that sometimes I've given it specifically here because since it's a CrewAI, there are a lot of parameters that you need to define. Sometimes you might encounter some errors like light LLM or say when you're trying to instantiate some model using the CrewAI. So once you, if you get any kind of error like that, so what I suggest is go through the light LLM framework. It's another good framework, but it has major LLM provider. Like here I have used Gemini, but you can explore all these LLM providers as well along with that. They all have some kind of API keys which are free for free use, because the free APIs, the only limitation with free APIs is it will have very less in terms of context and all. So for example, if, I mean, the rate limit is there. So once you exhaust the rate limit, you have to wait for it to get reset. Normally, midnight it get reset, or it will show you that like after how much hours it will reset. So you have to wait for that time, and then it will reset again, and then you can use it. So that's the one limitation of using free AI, free API. But you can explore uh, all these providers for their APIs and try to use that in your CrewAI. I've used Gemini, but these are all available as well. Like this is a document also I've given. So this one I've given specifically because there are a lot of, like instead of Gemini, if you want to explore say OpenAI or Azure or say Olama, Grok, or Vertex, say Mistral also. So just go to their website, create a free account, and then create a free API on that API key. So there you'll get an option to create API key. So create a free one. So I can take questions now. I'm done.
Okay, great, great. Tamal, our first question is from the Shikha. She asked that can we say that all the LLMs accessed by the agent one, that is researcher, not by the agent two?
LLM, whatever you will define it in the LLM class when in initially where I have defined the LLM right here. So here, whatever you will define, the agent will access that one only. Because the LLM itself is a parameter there, as I have told you. Like here, LLM is a parameter, agent parameter. So whatever you will define in LLM, the agent will use that. But make sure while defining the LLM or giving an API key that the API key is not exhausted, because once the agent access the model, and if it can't find, or if your API key has already exhausted the limit, then the agent will give an error saying that not process, or some error will get.
That
Like
is the
API
point
key exhausted. Yeah.
actually Shikha is saying that can we say only agent one, that is researcher, will access that particular
Yes,
LLM?
whatever LLM will, yeah, whatever LLM will, you will define here, the researcher or the writer agent will that. But having said that, if you define multiple LLMs, and you can see here, you say LLM, I have given one. What you can do, maybe you can try two LLMs, LLM1 and LLM2, and you can ask the agent, say researcher agent, you can point it to LLM1, and writer agent, you can point to LLM2. So that also you can do it. Or you can use one LLM if you have, like here I have used. Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to define the LLM accordingly, like with proper parameters. Like I have defined here, like it's for LLM, you can write LLM1, then say Gemini, LLM2, say for example Mistral. So you can do that. Then you can point one of the agents to one LLM, the other to other LLM, like that.
Okay. Currently, you have pointed one LLM to one agent, or you are pointing
No,
both
I
the
have pointed
agents
one LLM to both the agents.
to both the agents. Okay, got it.
Both the
So
agents,
that's
yes.
that's the actual question Shikha asked.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So now I hope Shikha it's clear to you. Another question is from Amit. Do we need to set GPU or TPU in collab or default
Y-
with CPU?
Yeah, it's better you use GPU because of the compute power and it will execute faster. So it's recommended to use GPU for any heavy, I mean, when you are executing, say, any agentic solution and all. Yeah.
Shreya is asking that if we used yesterday SmolAgent and day before that LangGraph and LangChain.
Mm,
So today
mm.
is CrewAI. So how can I decide which one I have to use? And what is the difference with CrewAI with that two agents?
Okay. So first of all, CrewAI small agents are not agents. They're like agentic frameworks, multi-agent frameworks. So you can use anyone to solve any problem. But as I said, like I mean, in order to know like which framework is better for what, you have to say you can do is that you start not to question using all the frameworks, and then you can only decide like for which framework is. So normally, the most commonly used framework is the LangGraph, LangChain LangGraph, because it has a lot of integration available, and also you have this monitoring observability capability also, like LangFuse, LangSmith, and all. So it has a lot of things. So that's why it's very popular. But having said that, others like CrewAI and SmolAgents or Google ADK or Padantic, they are also good agentic frameworks, and there are a lot of use cases on developing that. But it's up to the business problem we are trying to solve. And choose the agentic frameworks, but there is no hard and fast rule like saying that okay, I have to use this and this and all. But you can explore anyone and you can use anyone to solve it.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Tamal, for such a clear and engaging session. You introduced CrewAI, the way you demonstrate how multiple agents can collaborate seamlessly, now each with defined role, goal, and responsibility, made the concept of orchestrating intelligent system both engaging and easy to understand. We have been working with the LangChain and LangGraph small agents and CrewAI. Now it's time to broaden your toolkit. This is our challenge of the series that explore alternative agent frameworks, that is AutoGen, EG2, Google ADK, or Tamal, would you like to add something in this one?
Yes.
Mhm.
There are four. So as you can see, we explored few, but there are quite a few, and there are few more will come also because keep on. I mean, this field is keep on expanding. So as of now, you can go ahead and explore AG2, which AutoGen, but now they have updated to AG2, so which is like the AutoGen from Microsoft. Google ADK, Pydantic AI, and Haystack. So the challenge is like we have solved. You have the notebooks. You saw like what I have solved using the three agents. I mean, agentic frameworks. So what you can do is you go ahead and explore. You can try to solve a problem with these frameworks, and then you can see what is the difference between all the agentic frameworks, and then you can define. I mean, you can decide which framework to use for what. So I
Great, great. Thank you so much, Tamal. So today we didn't just learn, we assemble intelligence. Day three with CrewAI marked a powerful, inspiring finale to season 7 of the Hands-On Challenge series. We begin this journey by structuring the AI, we accelerate with speed and simplicity, and today we brought it all together as a crew. With CrewAI, we witness a shift from isolated agents to collaborative ecosystems. Agents thinking together, planning together, executing together. A heartfelt thank you, Tamil, for being the guiding force
well,
behind this journey. Your clarity, energy, and ability to turn complexity into creativity made every session not just insightful but unforgettable. Thank you so much, Tamal.